And this thing will probably still not catch fire and explode, because metal doesn't really tend to do that. But the point is, the spring checks out, Bethesda. It checks out. So what we learned today is the importance of reading things carefully. But overall, these weapons are still pretty stupid, and they don't make a lot of sense. And I should really find more productive ways to waste my time. Anyways, if for some reason you did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like, and if there are more things you want me to overly
So that was actually a surprisingly good assessment of the pipe weapons in Fallout. Please go check that video out. I should have a little eye thing up here or up here somewhere to go check out that video because excellent video. However, he does take up some good points, and I'm also thinking, looking at how Fallout did their pipe guns, I think I can do it better. That's just Clipper. I'm not going to go out and make a 3D model. I'm going to make me a replica. Looks like a gun, but obviously will not be functioning because that'd be illegal. And I don't want the ATF to come and shoot my dog. But I bet I can do better. So I'm going to challenge that. First I'm going to do a video talking about his overview. And I'm going to build a pipe gun. Obviously it will not be functioning. And see if I can do any better. So first off, let's go over what was covered in his review. So first thing he talked about was the lockup. Now lockup refers to, especially on bolt guns, when someone moves the bolt forward and they bring it down, that is locking it in place. Now that is why the gun does not explode. Now lockup generally is caused by, if you look, these little nubs. Now that's on this bolt, but they look different on different guns, but those are locking lugs. Now there are corresponding locking lugs built into the gun, which are generally in a piece of metal, which is either part of or very firmly affixed to the barrel. So when you push your bolt forward, you bring it down, it locks it into place. It basically turns into almost one cohesive chunk of steel or iron or whatever the fuck it's made out of. And that is because there's a lot of energy in bullets. And if you notice, on this particular bolt, locking lugs are quite fucking big. So, yeah, he was right. Those would most likely explode. But let's give it benefit of the doubt. That particular bolt is for a gun which fires this. This is a 6.5 Creedmoor cartridge. What the pipe guns in Fallout are said to fire is these, a 38. If you notice, significant size difference. Like, seriously significant. But still, it's not the best. So let's do another comparison. So here we have, of course, our 38, which is what they fire. We also have a 22 long rifle. Tiny little thing. So, we will take this gun, which fires 22 long rifle. First off, I will look down the barrel, make sure that it is clear, and I will observe there's no magazine in the gun. I have to make sure that the gun is safe. This is very important. Now I'm going to grab my calipers. So if you notice, this gun does not, where did I put the bolt? Right there. So if you look, this bolt does not have any locking lugs on it. It relies on a similar principle to that gun of a fin. It has a little metal fin right here. However, if we take our calipers, I can figure out how the fuck to measure this thing. We measure that fin, it comes out to 5 millimeters. I don't think that piece of metal which they used was 5 millimeters. So, they went with a way underpowered or way weak piece of metal by any standard. So another thing we should point out was the trigger mechanism. How it doesn't really make much sense. But it actually kind of does. The small space is actually very believable. So again, this firearm has been cleared. I will again check it, make sure there's no round in the chamber, there's no rounds in the magazine. But if you notice, it has a rather small, this is the entire trigger mechanism. This up here is where the bolt is housed. This is the entire trigger mechanism. And it looks about like something which would make sense for that. Now I'm going to close the bolt, and here, watch. That's how it functions. That click was a firing pin going down. It should hit a casing, but there wasn't any there to hit, so just clicked. But, so if that small of a trigger mechanism is very feasible and quite functional, so let's give them benefit of the doubt on that. And I've actually already measured this. I have measurements written down, and I'll make sure that on my version, the housing which I'll build for the trigger mechanism will be a bit large enough to fit this particular mechanism, because I want it to look realistic, look actually functional. I just want to launch this open. It's a really old gun. But continuing on, he also pointed out that you can upgrade the gun to fire 50 cal, and I'm assuming it's 50 BMG, but I don't really know because I don't play Fallout. I just like watching videos about it. So here is what this bolt, this is what it fires. A 6.5 Creedmoor bullet. This is what regular pipe guns fire. A 38 or a 38 round. This, give you a little size comparison, is a replica 50 BMG. Just clarified as a replica. It's not a real round. Well, actually, it's a real case and a real bullet, but there's no powder in the firing pin. But again, do you see a massive fucking size difference? So the thing he mentioned about it setting fire and all that, it wouldn't really set fire. So you see, guns, people say they're all high tech. It's an over-engineered pipe bomb. A gun is an over-engineered pipe bomb. You remove the over-engineered part, and this turns into a pipe bomb. That is you are trying to shoot a 50 BMG out of something like that would grenade it, as a lot of people call it. Yeah, it would fucking explode. Like, it's not a debate, not a question. It would fucking explode. I don't think be in any way, shape, or form dangerous to anybody downrange. However, the user and the people beside him, or her, or them, would be fucked. Like, not just, oh, they probably won't be fine. No, fucked. Capital F, fucked. So, yeah. But anyway, I'm going to clean up this mess that is my office. And I'm now going to take you all down to you're going to head down to my shop. Going to get some things together and do a video and finish up this video down there. And do this as sort of a preface to the videos I'm about to make. Because I'm going to try to make this little video series, okay? So, see y'all down there. Okay, so I'm nowhere near getting ready to get started on building. I don't even have piping. Reality is I'm going to do it in this shop. I'm going to go down a friend's shop and use that because they have piping and shit which I can use. But just to clarify, everything I'll be using will have been found in some way, shape, or form. Maybe someone else bought that and I found it, but everything will have been found. So, to start off with the different parts we have. Took a chunk of flat stock and I made a weird ass looking fucking stock. It's not much, but again, I don't think that's kind of the entire spirit of this, is that it's improvised, hope for the best. I literally made this by clamping it in a vise and beating the shit out of it with a hammer. A claw hammer. Just to add to insult to injury. So, again, nothing in this. I will try to use as few tools as possible, as much hand tools as possible, but you can only do so much. So, got us the stock. We have this chunky fucking thing. I don't actually know what the fuck it was originally for. However, this will be my bolt. Obviously, it is way too fucking big in this state to be a bolt. However, I'm pretty sure I'm going to figure out some method to cut it off right about here, maybe, and use it to make the bolt. Now, next part is this. It is a chunk of rebar. It's cut with a blowtorch. Because if you actually look at the weapons workbench in Fallout, it has a blowtorch on it. Or at least an oxygen tank and an acetylene tank. So theoretically, that should mean it has a blowtorch. Have a little piece of rebar, which conveniently slides right into this little groove on here, so I have a handle for my bolt. And just to clarify, it will be a right-handed gun. It will not be left-handed like in Fallout. A right-handed gun, the shells should eject out the right side, out of the friendly shooter's dominant side, which means that in Fallout, the guy's shooting it right-handed, but the shells eject out of that side, which is incorrect. Should he go that way? So of course, I will make it proper. We have that. We also have a chunk of. So we live near a highway. Hey, sheriff left. The sheriff was actually sitting in our driveway watching for speeders because he does that. But I found somebody lost a tire going by our house. Here's a chunk of that tire. Trying to make a great little butt pad. Not sure how, but I'm planning to affix it to the back of my stock as a sort of recoil pad. Another thing, took an old, not sure what the fuck you call this thing, but little bracket and made a trigger guard out of it. Not sure how the fuck I'm going to fix it, but I think it looks kind of cool, especially with it having some paint left on it and also being rusty at the same time. Other things, we have, if I can actually get my fingers work right, we have a small nut here. That little thing is going to be the rear sight, because I absolutely loathe the pipe gun sights in Fallout. They look horrific and in no way usable. And this will be my front sight. It is a nail. It was actually on a strip of nails, and I left some of the wire on there because I think it looks cool. But theoretically, you should be able to line these up to have your sight picture. Because, well, that should support my world. Ignore the barn castle for. Do you mind? Anyway, so that is the plan. I'm probably going to take some time out here and try to make some of that stuff look decent. Just clarify, I'm not actually going to clean all of it up. I'm just going to make it, at least the internal parts look like they were given a shit about. And yeah. So, but for things like the stock, I am probably going to leave just like this, unless I have to clean up parts of it to weld it in some fashion, because I will have to weld it onto the rest of the gun. Just clarify, YouTube, this is not a real gun, so please don't, delete this video. But, of course, I might do some finishing things to make it look presentable, or, let me rephrase that, not actually make it look presentable, to make it where I would be willing to consider shooting it. Assuming it didn't exist. So, anyway, that's all. I'll see y'all next time. Hopefully I have more stuff ready, and we're actually able to get started on this project. Just to clarify, these will not be my normal videos. This will be like an extra offshoot little mini-series that I do. So, yeah. That's about all I have for today, folks. Have a good day, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.